When the moon shone in the night sky, Luna, a stunning mermaid with long, flowing hair the color of midnight, could not resist feeling drawn to the ocean's surface. Her spirit was aroused and a sense of awe washed over her by the alluring brilliance of the moonlight. The moon gleamed strangely bright on this particular night as Luna floated elegantly over the ocean's depths. Its silvery rays pierced the water, illuminating the colorful marine life and creating an ethereal glow that danced around the coral reefs. Luna's tail propelled her with a graceful swish as she followed the captivating stream of moonlight towards the surface, her heart pounding. Luna surfaced, her shimmering scales gleaming in the moonlight as she broke the surface. The amazing scene in front of her caused her eyes, which are the color of the deepest seas, to enlarge in amazement. She followed the moon's ethereal beams as it hung low in the sky, creating a brilliant trail of light across the sea. Driven by an invisible force, Luna swam even faster toward the moonlit pathway, her pulse pounding with eagerness. A tingling sensation shot through her, drawing her seemingly closer to her fate like a magnetic pull. Then Luna noticed movement as she sailed through the seas illuminated by the moon. A tall, enigmatic figure stepped out of the starry night shadows. The creature was a merman, his silvery scales glistening in the moonlight. Like the stars themselves, his eyes greeted Luna's stare with a mixture of fascination and curiosity. As Luna and the merman locked eyes, time appeared to stop still, their bond extending beyond the confines of their respective realities. The universe seems to pause in that instant, as though realizing the importance of this moonlit gathering. Luna moved gracefully toward the merman, her heart racing in her chest. She sensed a strange connection growing between them, as though the ocean stood between the two parts of a single entity. Luna saw a mix of surprise and recognition in the merman's eyes as they finally met. It seemed as though the moon had called him to the surface, just as she had. Luna extended a gentle hand to the merman without saying anything, and he did the same, entwining their fingers. Their relationship experienced a wave of warmth and understanding, as though the moonlight itself was creating a tapestry of fate. Under the watchful eye of the heavenly orb overhead, Luna and the enigmatic merman set off on a trip that would put their love to the test and undermine the very basis of their existence during that moonlit rendezvous. They had no idea that their forbidden love would start a series of events that would permanently alter the world of mermaids. Luna and the merman set off on a journey full of passion, peril, and the unwavering belief that love could triumph over all obstacles under the moonlight, their destiny intertwined. The silvery shine of the full moon shed a spellbinding radiance on the ocean's surface, painting the landscape below in a fantastical palette of light and shadow. The enchanting charm of the moonlit night drew Luna, a mermaid with a strong bond to the moon, to the surface where she felt an overwhelming want to go. She moved through the water with grace, guided by her shimmering tail, reaching the surface where the moon was shining brighter than ever. Luna stepped out into the ocean and was met with a serene silence only interrupted by the soft sound of the waves lapping against her shimmering scales. That's when she saw a silhouette in the distance rising up out of the silvery sea. There was something enigmatic about him, his body outlined against the brilliant night sky. Luna's interest was aroused, and she swam toward it, her heart racing with excitement. The shadowy apparition turned out to be a merman named Orion when Luna got closer. Luna couldn't take her eyes off his penetrating aquamarine eyes, which had a hint of intrigue and longing. His compelling presence appeared to reflect the moon's alluring charm. As their eyes locked, the surrounding environment appeared to become blurry. Their encounter was enveloped in an ethereal atmosphere created by the moon's light, which left their features glowing softly and romantically. Luna and Orion circled each other silently, their movements choreographed like a complex dance under the lunar waters. They seemed to have an underlying understanding of one another and a bond that went beyond the confines of their separate realities. Luna saw an unseen connection connecting their souls as they got closer, like to a magnetic pull. Their encounter seemed to be amplified by the moon's cosmic power, which intertwined their fates into an unbreakable web. Luna tentatively held out a hand to Orion, her fingers quivering just a little bit. Orion mimicked her action, extending his hand to touch her on the shoulder. A spark ignited deep within their hearts as their hands made contact. A wave of electricity shot through their entwined fingers. During their nocturnal encounter, Luna and Orion found a bond that went against the norms established by their respective mermaid tribes and their own worlds. Even though their rendezvous was prohibited and their love was not meant to be, they were unable to ignore the strong tie that had developed between them in that little instant. Luna and Orion silently vowed to explore the depths of their relationship, to navigate the turbulent seas of forbidden love, and to uncover the mysteries that lay beyond the lunar surface, filled with both hope and anxiety. They had no idea that a series of events that would put their allegiance to the test, contradict their convictions, and irrevocably alter the path of their interwoven destinies would begin with their moonlit meeting. A strange merman named Orion and a mermaid named Luna, who had a strong bond with the moon, found themselves pulled together under the shimmering surface of the moonlit water by an unexplained force. They instantly connected as soon as their eyes locked, igniting a spark of recognition within each of their spirits. Luna watched Orion, her heart fluttering with a mix of excitement and doubt. She was drawn to him by his amazing look, which included his deep blue tail and eyes that liked the ocean. His eyes held a familiarity that suggested they had known one another in a different era or universe. In the same way, Orion experienced a deep sense of resonance with Luna. Something deep within him was touched by her radiant beauty, with her silver hair cascading down and her eyes reflecting the soft glow of the moon. He seemed to have been looking for her and waiting for this chance meeting between the stars. Luna and Orion exchanged no words as their bodies started to move in unison, slicing through the starry waves with ease. Their motions mirrored one another in an organic rhythm, as though they were dancing in a dreamlike world. Their bond grew stronger with each move, each elegant turn and twist. The distance between them shrank till their fingertips touched as they glided closer together. A wave of warmth shot through their clasped hands, like though a current of electricity flowed between them, confirming the strength of their relationship. Everything else in the world lost relevance during their encounter under the moonlight. Luna and Orion stared into each other's eyes, sharing feelings that words could not express, and it seemed as though time stood still. It was a mutual language of the heart, spoken in silence, that went beyond the confines of their separate lives. Luna and Orion felt a destiny was emerging between them, one that would test their allegiances and make them face the limits of their own realms. However, at that precise moment, all they could sense was the force that drew them together, creating an irreversible link that would influence their future. Luna and Orion stayed in close embrace, their hearts pounding in time, while the moon made its way through the night sky. They understood that their meeting wasn't just a coincidence, rather, it was the meeting of spirits meant to merge under the moon. They had no idea that their instant connection would spark a forbidden love that would put their determination to the test, cause them to question their beliefs, and start a chain of events that would alter their lives and the destiny of their mermaid clans forever. With an unwavering relationship that transcended the long-standing animosity between their rival mermaid clans, Luna and Orion found themselves entangled in the turbulent currents of a forbidden love. They had to deal with the weight of duty, tradition, and the implications that hung over their relationship as they sailed the dangerous waters of their forbidden attachment. The rumors about Luna and Orion's relationship traveled around their respective clans like waves in the sea. Whispers and murmurs abound in the mermaid realm, stoking the rivalries between various clans. Their love was viewed by their family as a betrayal because of the deep-seated prejudice that had been established by generations of animosity and a bitter past. The Oceanids, Luna's clan, were renowned for their mystical connection to the moon and their holy obligation to preserve the peace of the ocean. They were a proud and honorable family, steeped in history and ferociously devoted to their own. As a representative of the hostilities that had dogged their existence for ages, they viewed Orion, a member of the Nereid clan, as their enemy. Conversely, the Nereids were a clan that stood out for their intense devotion to maintaining their own customs and their connection to the sun. They saw Luna as a danger and as a representation of the Oceanids' never-ending competition, and their animosity toward her only grew as a result of her relationship with Orion. Orion and Luna were aware that their forbidden love would have repercussions. They had to decide whether to reject each other and give up their heart's desires for the benefit of their clans, or whether to accept the love that blazed inside of them and go against the expectations that had been placed upon them. Their secret gatherings turned into a haven where they could live freely, free from the prejudice and condemnation of their tribes, tucked away in isolated grottos or beneath moonlit caves. Luna and Orion took comfort in the warmth of their love and the mutual understanding they had during those fleeting moments. However, their hearts were heavy with the weight of their secret. They carried a great deal of anxiety about being found out and the possible consequences of their illicit relationship. They were aware that if their tribes found out about their relationship, it would start a terrible war and widen the divide between them. Luna and Orion turned to their clan's knowledgeable elders for help as they struggled with their feelings. They begged for comprehension, for the opportunity to heal the rift, and for a way to move forward as a unit. However, the elders stuck to their opposition, their hearts hardened by the scars of history and tradition that bound them from previous fights. Luna and Orion had to make a tough choice in the face of such opposition. Should they break free from convention and fight for a love that could heal and bring people together, or should they give up on their love and the tie that had grown between them? Luna and Orion realized their love was more than just a passing fancy as they stood on the brink of their decisions. It was a power that knew no bounds. It was a love that could change the course of their clan's history, heal the rift between their people, and usher in a new age of mutual understanding. Luna and Orion decided to defy their clan's strict standards, a fierce determination consuming them. They were going to set off on a voyage that would challenge them to be faithful, stretch the limits of their own convictions, and overcome all the obstacles in their way. Luna and Orion were resolved to show that love could prevail over hatred, that unity could overcome division, and that their link had the strength to change the course of their competing mermaid clan's destiny in the face of a forbidden love. With the weight of their tribe's long-standing animosity bearing down on them, Luna and Orion found themselves caught in the delicate threads of a forbidden love, their hearts aching for one another. They were compelled to conceal their love behind whispered vows and a veil of secrecy because they knew the terrible repercussions if their relationship was discovered. Every contact that Luna and Orion had on the run turned into a priceless find, a little reprieve from the tumultuous waves of their lives. They met in secret coves under the cover of night, their forbidden passions comforted by the soft glow of the moon. Their love was clouded by the fear of being discovered, which caused their hearts to ache from carrying such a heavy secret. Luna was aware that discovering her relationship with Orion would be viewed by her Oceanic clan as a betrayal and an insult to the honor and customs that bound their community. The repercussions would be dire, endangering not just their relationship but also the tenuous harmony between their respective clans. If the Nereid clan of Orion found out about his illicit union with Luna, they too would not be forgiving. The long-standing rivalry between their clans had grown so strong that the idea of mixing with the enemy was greeted with scorn and disdain. Orion realized that the only defense they had against the impending storm was to keep their love hidden. Orion and Luna carried a heavy weight of their unspoken love, which clouded their hearts with doubt and confusion. They questioned the justice of their situation and bemoaned the unfortunate events that had brought them together but also kept them apart. Nevertheless, their love was unwavering and they were resolved to break free from the discrimination of their clan. Rumors of an illicit relationship that dared to step outside the bounds of custom started to spread among the mermaid communities. Luna and Orion were aware that they needed to exercise even greater caution because every set of curious eyes could jeopardize their delicate secret. To allay suspicions, they worked up elaborate plans, scheduling meetings precisely and sending each other encrypted messages that only they could decipher. With each covert meeting, Luna and Orion's love grew stronger as the days gave way to nights. Their hearts pounded in unison as they disregarded the limitations placed upon them, relishing in glances taken behind closed doors and intimate touches. Because during those priceless times, they found comfort in safety, their love turning into a haven in a world that wanted to destroy them. However, the burden of their unspoken love continued to be a continual source of conflict. The freedom to walk hand in hand beneath the moonlit waters, to openly express their affections without fear of retaliation, was something that both Luna and Orion longed for. They were forced to consider the very core of their identities as a result of the tension between their love and clan devotion. Luna and Orion turned inward for comfort during the height of their desire, finding courage in their unshakable faith in the efficacy of their love. They were aware that the road they had chosen would not be simple, but they were determined to keep their love safe no matter what, even if it meant putting aside their personal wishes in order to preserve the precarious peace within their clan. Despite being in a forbidden relationship, Luna and Orion held on to the dream that their tribes would eventually be swept away by waves of acceptance and understanding. In their dreams, they saw a time when discrimination would be destroyed, their love would no longer be hidden, and they would be able to unite to fight the hatred that had afflicted their planet for far too long. Luna and Orion resumed their secret dance under the moonlight, their spirits entwined as they negotiated the perilous seas of secrecy, hoping that one day their love would be finally released from the confines of their hearts. With their allegiance to their separate mermaid tribes and their intense love for one another, Luna and Orion found themselves entangled in the complex web of a forbidden romance. Challenges and barriers appeared with each step they took toward unification, trying the strength of their relationship and driving them to the brink of their determination. Their conflicting allegiances weighed heavily on them, making it more difficult for them to plan their covert meetings. Between the need to be together and the worry about the repercussions of their forbidden love, Luna and Orion found themselves divided. They were aware that finding would not only put their own happiness in danger but also start a terrible feud between their clans. Their love was concealed beneath many layers of deceit and pretense, and their lives turned into a delicate ballet of concealment. They wove in a web of falsehoods to protect their secret, creating intricate alibis and made-up stories to justify their absences. Every interaction was a brief instant of stolen ecstasy, but their moments of joy were shadowed by the constant anxiety of being discovered. Luna and Orion faced mistrust and censure from their closest allies as they juggled their conflicting allegiances. Unaware of the reality, friends and relatives expressed their worries and disapproval of the growing relationship. Their internal conflict was exacerbated by the weight of their loved ones' expectations, which made them choose between their own happiness and the need to win over their loved ones. The shifting currents of their hearts were not lost on their respective tribes. Rumors of their forbidden romance made their way to powerful people in the mermaid societies. Rumors of a relationship between Luna and Orion heightened the enmity between the Oceanid and Nereid clans. Steeped in tradition and hardened by years of antagonism, the chiefs of their clans would do whatever it took to preserve the status quo. There was increasing pressure on Luna and Orion to live up to the standards set by their tribes. Alternatively, they were offered suitors who were mermaids or mermen approved by their community. They struggled with the decision to sacrifice their personal happiness in order to maintain the harmony among their clans, and the weight of duty and responsibility weighed heavy on them. But their love became stronger and stronger, unwavering in the face of hardship. Luna and Orion resisted allowing customs and hostility to put out the flames of their love. They realized they needed to move forward, needed a new route that went beyond the boundaries of the animosity between their tribes. Luna and Orion set off on a journey together in search of supporters and allies for their cause. They went in search of merpeople who thought that love had the ability to heal divisions and bring opposing groups together. Their search led them to occult societies and learned elders who held knowledge beyond the bounds of custom. Through their interactions, Luna and Orion learned of tales of merfolk who dared to confront the preconceptions of their time, tales of forbidden love that had triumphed against overwhelming odds. These tales turned into rays of optimism, pointing them in the direction of a day when their love would be free to bloom in the open, free from the veil of concealment. Luna and Orion's friendship deepened as they gained allies and overcame the obstacles in their path. They found that their love was capable of inspiring transformation, altering viewpoints, and upending deeply held beliefs that had split their tribes apart for many years. Together, they developed into unifying campaigners, longing for a future in which love would ultimately prevail over hatred. Luna and Orion found strength in one another during their battles. Knowing they were not alone in their search for acceptance and understanding gave them comfort in their common conviction. Unwavering in their resolution to break through the boundaries that threatened to keep them apart, they embarked on a journey full of challenges. Luna and Orion persevered despite having conflicting allegiances, their hearts intertwined as they sailed through the turbulent waves of change. They were prepared to take on any task, break down any barriers, and overcome any obstacle in their quest to be together, even though they knew the path ahead would be arduous. Once buried deep in secret, their love started to shine through, touching people's hearts and lighting a glimmer of hope. Luna and Orion came to represent a future in which love would triumph over all obstacles, historical wounds would be mended, and the strength of their relationship would change the course of their clan's histories. Luna and Orion embarked on a journey to demonstrate that love has no bounds, that harmony can triumph over discord, and that the power of their love could vanquish the most formidable challenges. Luna has always felt a deep connection to the moon deep within her heart. The soft brightness of the night sky seemed to be whispering secrets only she could hear. She had no idea that this connection had a hidden power waiting to be unlocked. An energy rush passed through Luna's veins one evening as she stared at the glowing orb that adorned the night sky. Something divine appeared to stir inside her, igniting long-suppressed powers. It was as if the moon itself had given her a gift of renewed vigor and clarity. Luna was driven by amazement and curiosity to discover the limits of her newly acquired abilities. She realized how much she could do with every night that went by. At a word, she could call forth currents and weave glittering paths of enchantment by moonlight. She felt the essence of the moon coursing through her, strengthening her bond with the surrounding waters. Upon further exploration of her powers, Luna discovered that she could actually speak with the moon thanks to her bond with it. It was as though the moon were whispering universe secrets into her ears. She could feel its old wisdom and guidance. Luna gained a profound awareness of the tide's ebb and flow, the delicate balance of the natural world, and the interconnection of all things as a result of this relationship. Luna aimed to use her newly acquired abilities to use the moon's favor for the benefit of society. She made use of her powers to heal wounded marine life, applying a delicate touch of moonlight magic to their wounds. Luna turned into a ray of hope and comfort for those in need, calming the turbulent seas with her presence. The elders and clan leaders of Luna's clan were among the many mermaid communities that learned about her amazing abilities. Though at first greeted with suspicion and uncertainty, Luna's steadfast belief and her concrete deeds of generosity started to win over the people who had previously doubted her talents. Luna's fellow merfolk grew increasingly understanding as her powers did. They started to view the moon's favor as a power that could promote harmony and unity rather than as a curse. The once split tribes began to doubt the biases that had fostered their hostility, understanding that love's force in the moon's direction could guide them to a future of peace. Orion also saw Luna undergo this amazing metamorphosis. He was astounded by her newly acquired skills and saw them as evidence of the strength of love and the moon's enormous effect. He was there for her, encouraging her on her path and seeing her abilities as a lovely augmentation of their strong relationship. Luna and Orion worked together to close the divide between their clans by utilizing their combined strengths. Luna's relationship with the moon served as a ray of hope, pointing them in the direction of comprehension and absolution. They devoted their lives to promoting communication, inspiring open minds and hearts, and showing that acceptance and love had the capacity to heal even the most severe wounds. With the moon's favor, Luna and Orion guided their clans toward a future of harmony and peace, acting as change agents. The forbidden love that had initially inspired their quest was now the cornerstone of a brand new age of peace. Luna realized that her relationship with the moon was more than just a personal gift as she dug deeper into her abilities and the counsel it provided. She committed herself to using her gifts to safeguard the ocean and all of its creatures, maintain the delicate natural equilibrium, and encourage people to recognize the transformative power of compassion and understanding. Luna became more and more bonded to the moon every day. She discovered how to harness its energy to produce glowing barriers that fend off dangers to the delicate environment of the ocean. She had the power to call forth soft moonlight to lead lost sailors to safety and to soothe violent storms that threatened to destroy the waters. Among the merpeople, Luna's abilities grew to represent hope and respect. They regarded her as a caring and sage leader who could heal the divisions among the mermaid clans and lead them to a future of harmony and respect. However, Luna never wavered in her humility or appreciation of the moon's contribution to her powers. She realized that her abilities were a gift from the heavenly body that had selected her to be its conduit, not just something she possessed. She kept looking to the moon for direction, finding strength and comfort in its soft light. Luna turned into an inspiration to merpeople everywhere as she accepted her duty as the ocean's defender. Her tale traveled far from the confines of her own tribe to other lands and even to other human civilizations. The story of a mermaid who was blessed by the moon and used her abilities to defend the oceans and promote harmony astounded many. Luna helped the merpeople realize that love, understanding, and the moon's direction were the keys to a peaceful existence with every act of kindness and power show. Her experience turned into a living example of the transformational potential of forbidden love and the inner strength that is unquestionable. Luna's life changed at that moment when she accepted her relationship with the moon and used its blessing to control the course of her planet. Luna was well positioned to guide her people into a future in which differences would vanish and the strength of love and unity would triumph thanks to her unyielding determination, her abiding love for Orion, and the direction of the moon.